Today I started off with some jump rope. I admire the cardiovascular endurance of martial artists, and it's hard to say you admire anybody from prison for the fact, but I've seen some documentaries, and a lot of prisoners, they go through a lot of cardiovascular conditioning to be able to output a high intensity of energy multiple times, high burst of energy that you won't get tired from. So think of a martial artist going through rounds, like a boxer or MMA fighter. They go one round and they gotta keep the energy high. I used to do some breakdancing, and that's pretty similar. You go in, you do your set, and it takes a lot of energy, then you go back out. But that's it more, you're at control of the pace, unless you're doing like a breakdance battle breakdancing. So that's why I really tried to get into some jump rope, but I feel like it's not really doing it for me yet. I think if I really wanted to hit it, I'd be doing some burpees. But yeah, I might do some burpees tomorrow, thinking about it out loud. Now here is a footwork practice. You know, a lot of the mainstream fitness culture is about gaining size like a bodybuilder, taking a lot of steroids. Not very healthy, just look for the look, so it's just about aesthetics. And then below that, slightly less popular is strength. Then you get to some endurance and conditioning type work. But I like to follow Ido Portal's movement culture, and he says just to move because you can improve the patterns. And footwork is a very important movement pattern, and that was it's been improving when I do the footwork like that. And I do that throughout the day. Maybe not as long as a long session, but I will do like a strong footwork interval. Similar to like a dance, like you'd go dancing, but just focusing on improving footwork and coordination. Juggling, I know how to juggle. Ido Portal kind of does some juggling. I've seen a lot of other movement practitioners do some juggling. So here's this is a pattern called Mills Mess, and then before that I did 4-ball juggling. And this is the first time I did some stick balancing. I've seen Ido Portal do lots of similar work to this, and this is much harder than it looks. This is my first time, so I was only able to balance it for a few seconds, and it's quite challenging. I'm not yet seeing the benefit, but again, first time. I'll continue to do it every so often, and I'll report back how I do. So some nighttime stretching. That was mainly all that I've done today. I wasn't trying to have a high level of fatigue, just trying to take it pretty easy. I do feel like tomorrow I'll do some burpees, which will be pretty high intensity. Not sure how much fatigue I'll add because I don't do it all too often. Here I'm doing pretty good with the middle splits. I did it somewhat cold, doing the middle splits, and that ended up fine. And I kind of felt it afterwards. I was like, oh, I had to recover a little bit, do some other auxiliary stretches, just radiate some of that feeling afterwards. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a question for a Q&A video I'll be doing. Almost have enough questions. And the stretching at night, best time to stretch because, when you're in bed, you ideally don't want to be moving around too much. Yeah, I do a lot of squats throughout the day, just as a normal part of my moving around. I feel like it does challenge the legs somewhat. And this bridge wasn't my best bridge session, but I'm not trying to push the bridge too hard. I want to take my time, be a little bit more patient when it comes to the bridge. I've just recently Got my shoulders pain-free, so I'm not going to push it too hard. Just do it fairly relaxed in the way I do it. Now, the ankles are the number one most injured part of the body. Take extra time to develop them, fortify them. This is an ankle breaker position, and the one after that I'm doing right now is the Sasquatch position. I just made up the names for them, but you just invert and evert your ankles, move across the tripod support. You have 3 bases of support on the human foot when it's spread out. If you wear a lot of conventional shoes, that's very dangerous for the ankle because it compresses your front 2 bases of support. Don't forget to train your wrist. Bye-bye.